Your fear of capture and imprisonment is an implant from millions of years ago. This battle has been with you from before you know. This is not you.
Shut the fuck up!
It's not you.
Shut the fuck up!
It's not you.
My man. Well, there are actually two people I have in mind. Maybe later I'll get to the other one, or maybe I might even wait to do a separate response to him. But the one who I'm going to call Pillow Guy. Both of these two individuals, they heard my left hand, right hand, red, blue paradigm thing. But I'm just looking at Pillow Guy first. Now I have a scenario because there are people who believe, or maybe they don't believe this, but they just want the people they're talking to believe this. But either way, there are people like Pillow Guy who believes that if these people were to think differently about the situation, then that would make them not be in jail. And I'm not talking about, well, if they had made better decisions in life, then they wouldn't have ended up there in the first place. No. I'm talking about believing that if these inmates just think differently about their incarceration, it would make them not in jail. Right? And I understand that what I said it sounds absolutely retarded. But there are people who believe that if they just say something, then it could change reality. Like Pillow Guy, I'm not going to say his name. I've said his name plenty of times before. I've even played plenty of his videos before. But right now, I'm going to call him Pillow Guy, just so he knows that I'm talking about him. Man, people like him. Pillow Guy, who's a conservative and loves to keep saying, I'm not a Republican or a conservative. I'm not on the right or the left. Line. He's a conservative. But anyway, he's one of them. One of the many who would tell people to never mind the DNC and the RNC. As if that's supposed to erase reality. What is reality? Well, the reality is that the red and the blue plus whatever hidden shadow puppeteers are what governs here. And saying, forget about them, does not change the reality. But there are people who believe, or maybe they just want the people they're talking to believe that saying, forget political parties is supposed to negate these political parties' presence and the impact on all of our lives. Meanwhile, the people who say this, everything that they talk about concerning social matters has to do with politics. Okay? These tires, there are city, state, and I wouldn't doubt even federal guidelines as to how much pressure is supposed to be in these tires. Why do I choose trucks? Well, because almost everything we consume comes off of these things. When I say consume, I don't just mean the things that we eat and drink. And their reasoning. Wow. Politics and politicians are corrupt. Yeah, no shit. Politicians are corrupt. Saying that as if that's supposed to negate their presence and impact on our lives. Politics are corrupt. Saying that as if that's supposed to mean that because it's corrupt, we shouldn't concern ourselves with what politics do. And mind you, the people I'm talking about, these are the people who talk about the woes and the agonies that politics inflict on people's daily lives, but will talk to their audience as if how they feel about our situation should change the situation. And as I've said plenty of times before, politics and politicians being corrupt should mean more than if they weren't corrupt. Because no corrupt politics, we have no concerns then, right? So again, the greater the corruption, the more concern we should have. Politicians and politics are corrupt. Well, okay. What is that? What are you trying to say? Okay, they're corrupt. What are you trying to say? And what is that? I'm trying to figure out, what does never mind politics mean? What is saying that supposed to do? Well, I don't know what it's supposed to say or do, but I do know what it amounts to.
This is fine. I'm okay with the events that are unfolding currently. That's okay. Things are going to be okay.
It amounts to that. Why? Well, because we are affected by politicians and politics every day. So it just blows my mind when people think that saying, I think outside of the red and blue paradigm, that it somehow makes them some kind of special kind of person who are unlike the blind masses of sheeple. You're not different. Damn sure not special for being let the chips fall where they may, minded. And that's your suggestion of rebellion. Politics and politicians, just let it do what it do. That's your think tank? And as a matter of fact, yeah, as a matter of fact, let me just show you who Pillow Guy is. Fuck all this calling them Pillow Guy shit. Let me just show you who it is.
It is so interesting. Now, I'm telling you right now, and I want you to listen. And you might be listening for the first time, and you might say, I don't know who this guy is. I am not now, nor have I ever been, a Republican, a conservative. I used to say I was a libertarian. That's the closest thing. This is around 1980, 80s. Because it was kind of cool. Nobody knew what it meant. Now, that's the last thing in the world I want to do. This has nothing to do with an ideology. Nothing.
Lionel Nation. Well, who is Pillow Guy? Who is the real Pillow Guy then? The guy in the blue suit, red tie.
We also have a couple of big supporters. You ever see this guy with the pillows on Fox? My pillow guy, Mike Lindell. Where is Mike? He is the greatest. I have never seen so many ads for so long. And you know what? I think he gets them for like peanuts. First of all, he does make a great product, great pillows. I actually use them, believe it or not. But he's been a supporter from day one. And I said, you know, I want you to be my ad buyer because I guarantee you he makes great deals. So I haven't asked him yet. Will you be my ad buyer, please, Mike? The My Pillow guy, thank you. And he's been with us right from the beginning, along with a lot of other folks, actually.
Everything you can imagine. It is so interesting. Now,
Pillow Guy is a die-hard, simplified, do-or-die, and a very controversial conservative Republican right-winger.
I'm going to do a favor for you, yeah. I'm going to give you 1 million, because I like you. And this is going to help you. Wow, yes, because people will look at the 1 million, 1.1 million, and they'll say, this guy's really good. Nobody will say, but are these numbers real? Can you authenticate these numbers? Nope. Just like I can turn you down to nothing. Twitter said, this guy, if I let people actually just come on, and whoever it is, this person will have 1.5 million, but I'm not. I'm going to turn that down. So the numbers mean nothing. You know where else the numbers don't mean anything? Elections. Numbers mean nothing. Do you understand the moral of the story here? There is no competition. Everything's an illusion. The numbers, who wins, who loses, who's popular, doesn't exist. This is social engineering. This is psychological warfare. I'm going to tell you this again. The moral of the story today is that we have created this almost a kind of a cryptocurrency of validation or popularity or whatever it is. It's this virtual currency of... We are getting into alternative currencies. And a currency does not mean something that you barter, something that you... But it's a metric that we use that immediately provides status or a lack thereof. How many followers? You know he's pretty good. We're looking at 1 million followers. Looking at a million. Wow. It's pretty good. Yep. And we will acknowledge this. We will acknowledge various aspects of this. We will do this. When you get 100,000, you get that silver thing. If you get 1 million, then you get the gold one. And if you get 10 million, whatever it is, 100,000, million. How many votes did Biden get? 80 million? Well, how many did Trump get? Don't ask. Translation, numbers mean nothing. They're automatic numbers. Do you think for a moment, and now I have no reason to believe this, but the first thing, if I had a Yelp or a travel advisory or trip advisor, whatever it is, if I had something and I was organized crime motivated, what do you want, 5-star? I'll take care of that. I don't know anything about how these people are doing this, and I have no reason to believe, nor am I accusing anybody of doing this. But do you understand how this works? We live in a world right now of virtual currency. There was a time when people were playing Mafia, whatever this thing was, whatever this world was on Facebook. And then there was Candy Crush this, and then there was whatever. And we live by ratings. And I may not be able to pay you in money, but I'll pay you in ratings. I'll pay you in another virtual currency, something else, an alternative currency, something that will give you frequent flyer miles. Would you like that? How about CVS customer bonus tip? What would you like? This is a new currency, cryptocurrency, Dogecoin, this, NFTs, elections, who won, who lost. Tell them whatever you want. I guarantee you, CNN Plus never even approximated the numbers they say it had before they pulled the plug. Okay. So going back to the rules. The mafia over here does this. The mafia has a rule that says the LCN, how much did you bring in? Kick up whatever per points to the boss. That's it. You're not going to get by. Well, I don't have any money this week, but I've got frequent flyer. I've got some. You know what? I think this is a great boss, and we have a rating. He got a 5-star rating. No, we live by 5-star ratings today. We live by 5-star ratings. There was an old Jackie Mason joke. Jackie Mason said, "He's everybody today is judging this, giving this, I'm going to judge this, and Judge Judy, and this, and I went to a restaurant, and when the waiter said, 'Where's my tip?' he says, 'I'll give you a 5. You know, that kind of thing. That's where we are today. But the moral of the story, let me say again, is that numbers mean nothing. Numbers mean nothing. Elections mean nothing. Popularity means nothing. It's nothing. It's an illusion. It's a number I throw at you. And you are so... We have counterfeited any type of meritocracy. It does not exist.
Don't vote, he says. And whoever listening, this is not a you need to get out and vote video. So please don't come to the comment board and tell me why you vote or who you going to vote for, or why you don't vote, or that voting is rigged or whatever. Because again, this is not a vote video. What was the video about? Well, it's about what I've been saying it's about. And this was later on in that stream. Lionel has done this a lot of times, not just in this stream, but he's done this a lot of times. This is what he said after Don't Vote.
Is that numbers mean nothing. Numbers mean nothing. Elections mean nothing. Popularity means nothing. It's nothing. It's an illusion. It's a number I throw at you. And you are so... We have counterfeited any type of meritocracy. It does not exist. Next point. The Republican Party does nothing. Let me say this again. I'm not a Republican, but I'm going to vote everything Republican. Just as a counter to this. As a counter to this horror show that we're exhibiting. I'm voting everything Republican. I don't care what it is. Republican.
Says he's going to vote Republican. The guy who says he's not a conservative, Republican, right wing or nothing. He doesn't do the left-right paradigm. But why did I play that? It was to show you just how nonsensical it is to try to convince people that politicians and politics and the political parties shouldn't mean nothing to people. Lionel and many others do this. But you heard how he knows that it makes no sense. That's why he mentioned which party he'll vote for, even after he's been on his channel many, many times telling people to never mind political parties. Now, why did I choose to call Lionel Pillow Guy? Well, because I wasn't going to say his name. Okay, I could give him another name, but why Pillow Guy? What kind of name is that to come up with, Pillow Guy? Well, I chose Pillow Guy because about a week ago, Lionel announced with great enthusiasm that Mike Lindell, Pillow Guy, decided to become his sponsor. Why? What is Mike hearing from Lionel that tells him, you know what? I want to sponsor that man. What is Mike seeing over there at Lionel Nation? I tell you what, it's the same thing I've been seeing and hearing. What if me and Mike Lindell been seeing and hearing from Lionel? Guess what? That right-wing Republican conservatism, that's what. Would Mike go to sponsor someone like a Roland Martin? Nah. Or a Jesse Dolomar? Oh, what about an Anna from the Young Turks? Absolutely not. But Lionel, in every other stream of his that I click on, he will insist on saying he's not a Republican. Deception. Yeah, that's what this is. But never mind Lionel, because it's a lot of people that do that. Same as like when I told y'all a few days ago when I talked about Will Kincaid. I said, never mind Will Kincaid. Will says he's not a conservative. Meanwhile, almost every position he holds would be likened to a right-wing conservative. Prove never mind politics, politicians, and political parties. Prove it. Demonstrate it. Don't just say it. Don't just say forget about them. Prove that we don't have to pay politicians no mind. Prove that politics don't mean anything because as a man thinketh, then so shall it be. Prove it. Now the other guy, my man. Remember I said it was two people that I have in mind. But I'll address him and his ridiculous notion in a different video. I'll wait for him. Right? And I'm going to talk about groups. Groups. Maybe even a bit of Bible. Maybe I'll even do a bit of Bible talk. Just a bit of Bible. Because my other man's in there. He thinks that, oh man, how many people do we know like this? People who think they can use the Bible to lie. I've been responding to this kind of stuff for years. Even before I knew a Lionel Nation or my other mans in them. Even before I knew them. The kind of people who talk about groups and group thinking and he's not part of the red-blue paradigm. He thinks he's not. He claims he's not. But at the end of the day, he's only pretending that he's not. But anyway, that's all.